what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and guys, today we're heading to the Big Apple to take a look at the New York Rangers making a big signing, re-signing Mika Zibanejad to an 8-year contract. We're taking a look at this signing, what it means for the Rangers moving forward, what it means for Mika Zibanejad, as well as the details of this signing in this video. So, Mika Zibanejad is finishing off the final year of a 5-year, $26.75, something like that, $1 million contract, a little over $5 million per year. The final 3 years of this deal had a no movement clause, and there was some talk that he would be a predominant piece for the New York Rangers in a deal that would send him to Buffalo for Jack Eichel. Now, really where this story starts is from what we saw earlier this weekend, which was the Florida Panthers re-signing Alexander Barkov to an 8-year, $80 million contract. He's obviously maybe a little, let's be honest, he's a better player than Zibanejad. He's making $10 million per season, but this would allow a base for what this deal could look like. And because this thing has been dragging out with Jack Eichel, the New York Rangers probably figure, you know what? We might as well just get this done now. And that's exactly what they did. Signing Zibanejad an 8-year deal. It will be $8.5 million per season. This was first reported by, what's his name, Brooks from the Rangers, who is a big reporter for the Rangers. So, Mika Zibanejad, again, we know what he brings to the Rangers. He led the team in points last season. The 2011 6th overall pick, back in his day with Ottawa. Guys, who was the first overall pick in the 2011 NHL draft? Let me know down below. And also the 5th overall pick, Ryan Strome. He's playing alongside Strome. But at 28 years old, Zibanejad is in the prime of his career. This contract's going to take him till he's 37 because, again, you also have to remember his birthday's in April. He'll be 29 at the day this contract is in effect. So he'll be 37 years old when it's all said and done. This will take him to the end of his career, and a good contract overall for the Rangers. I think this is a fair deal. They did go max term. They did give him that 8th year, but they get him in at a lower cap hit. And let's be honest, the Rangers, if Zibanejad were to go into the open market next summer, he'd probably get somewhere close between 9 and 9.5 per year. But again, he sold out to the Rangers. He knows what he means. And that's why he wanted at least 8.5. Now the question is, how are the Rangers going to finagle the rest of their salary cap? Because they're starting to look like a team. Again, a couple years ago, they bring in Jacob Trouba. They bring in Artemi Panarin. The problem is they're starting to run out of cap space. And now the question is, what are you going to do with the young guys? Probably going to see a bridge deal with Capo Caco. What are we going to see with Alexis Lafreniere when his deal is done? Keandre Miller. There's going to be a lot of questions down the road for the salary cap in terms of the Rangers. And now you just invested another $8.5 million for the next 8 years. For a guy like Zibanejad, you're definitely taking a risk there. And I just want to mention some of the big contracts. $11.6 million per season for the next 5 years for Artemi Panarin. You also got $6.5 million per year for the next 6 years on Chris Kreider. Mika Zibanejad, he'll be getting $8.5 starting next year. That'll be he's with the Rangers for 9 more years, an 8-year deal. Barclay Goodrow, $3.6 million per season for the next 6 years. That was a pretty big contract. Also a modified no trade clause in that as well. And again, all these guys, no movement clauses. And probably one of the more concerning ones out of them all is the Jacob Trouba one. Jacob Trouba, no movement clause for the next 5 seasons. He's going to be getting paid $8 million per year. So that's a significant amount of the salary cap going to some guys. And you also have the Shesterkin deal, which I think is a very valuable contract, 5.6 for 4 years. But again, when you've paid that money to some of these guys like Trouba, and when it comes time for the young guys to get their contracts, you're going to say, you gave $8 million to Jacob Trouba, who is really a second pairing defenseman. That means I get more than that. That's kind of what these guys are going to think. So we'll see what happens. I think it's a great signing, though. $8.5 million for the Rangers to keep around Mika Zibanejad. That pretty much eliminates the whole Jack Eichel talk. At least at this point, we could pretty much assume that will not be happening. But guys, let me know what you think down below. And if you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, and more videos just like this one, guys, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.